All right, everyone, we are moving into the structure of DNA. Go ahead and take a moment, and what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and draw this on page 89 of your ISN. I want you to make sure that you are focused on the fact that this is what is called a double helix. It's basically a ladder that is turned sideways and kind of curved. They have on the ladder, the kind of edges are a sugar phosphate backbone. And then what you'll notice is that there's two nucleotides that match up with one another, two bases that match up together. And you will always see adenine and thymine together, so your A and your T, and you will always see your guanine and cytosine, G and C, C and G together. Those are kind of how they match up. So go ahead, take a second right now and draw this in your spiral. All right, so now I'm kind of curious about what is the job of DNA, where is DNA located, and where do you think DNA came from? Go ahead, write down these 3 questions and write quick answers on your ISN. You'll be able to check yourself to find out if you're right in a second. So what is the function of DNA? The function, and I would write this definition down, the function of DNA is to store and transmit the genetic information that allows cells to make proteins. And these proteins are what determine things ranging from your hair color to how fast you digest your food. In DNA, our location where everything is found is in the nucleus in the form of chromosomes. I would actually write that one down as well. If the DNA in all 46 chromosomes from one cell were uncoiled and stretched out end to end, it would be more than 6 feet long. That's just kind of a really neat, interesting fact. Where did our DNA come from? Each of our parents contributed some of the DNA that is located in each of our chromosomes with our cells. This is done through the processes of meiosis and mitosis. These are fantastic images. This is showing basically how those chromosomes get kind of separated. And then this shows a fantastic graphic of how your dad and your mom helped create you the way that you are in your special uniqueness, and how you are not an exact replicate of either mom or dad, that you are a kind of an awesome mixture. The structure of DNA, I would write down these couple of bullets. Basically, there is a sugar that's called deoxyribose. Remember, DNA is called deoxyribose nucleic acid. So that sugar and a phosphate group make up that backbone, if you guys remember from that very beginning image. Then there are those nitrogen bases which connect the backbones. And then when the building blocks of a DNA molecule are put together, it forms something called a nucleotide. Notice this is just one base on here, and so this would be like an A or a C or a T or a G. The structure of DNA is called a double helix. I would write this information down. The double helix consists of 2 strands of nucleotides that are coiled together, and that's how you end up with that beautiful kind of double helix. And here is kind of how your bases attach to one another. So just as a quick review, the building blocks are the deoxyribose sugar, the phosphate group, and the nitrogen base, and then 2 of these connected together actually form those nucleotides that form the double helix. A double helix does look like a twisted ladder, and the rungs of the ladder are made up of nitrogen bases. There are the 4 bases, and I would make sure that I have this written down. They are the adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine. And always A pairs with T and G pairs with C. So how does this relate to what we're learning? Basically, a gene is a chunk of DNA in our chromosomes, and it's actually a bunch of nitrogen bases in specific orders. One gene can have several hundred to 1,000,000 nitrogen bases, and everyone has a unique set of DNA or genes because of all the different possibilities, and you kind of have like a little written explanation for that there. Okay? So overall, the order of our nitrogen bases in a gene determine the protein that kind of explains what is produced. And so for instance, this could mean that I have blue eyes, whereas this could mean that I have hazel eyes. All right, make sure that this is written down in your ISN.